Can you hear me okay back there, everybody? It's okay? All right, thank you. Well, thank you so much for being here. Every so often when I speak, I always try to say, look, I'm not going to say much. It never works out that way, but I'm going to really discipline myself this time. But I want to start off with something that's very important. Everything about this meeting is important, but there's really something really important that I want to say here. And that's to thank each and every one of you for being here. And I want us all to just applaud you for being here. Because in my estimation, and I know many of you agree with me, this is one of the most important moments in the history of this university, this wonderful university that we love. And we're not going to transcend the problems that are being foisted upon us without all of us standing together. And so although there are some of us who do some of the work in the trenches and put together the sound systems and do all that, none of it matters. We have some really great political elected officials here. They can't do what they do without you. You know, I watched President Obama's a farewell address the other day, and he made a point of saying that. It really comes down to us. And so these things that are happening that we know are bad for our university, they are going to happen unless all of us stand up together. And today what we're seeing here, as Dan Power just said, on a late Friday afternoon in the middle of an Iowa winter to see this kind of a crowd, this is a really good sign. And on behalf of everyone in the United faculty, thank you so much. Now, there are some specific individuals that need some special recognition for putting this event together today. And also that we have some dignitaries here that I want to recognize. And I can't see very well, unfortunately, right now because of the lights, but I'm going to just mention these folks' names and say a quick thing or two about what they've done, and then we can acknowledge it. Becky Hallbaker, who recently, by the way, broke her ankle, and of course she's keeping it in the family because 2 weeks before then her daughter broke her ankle. And so now they have, I don't know if they're matching scooters, but Becky has not let that slow her down in terms of her commitment to doing everything she can to help us protect what's best about this university. So Becky and Carissa Freund, where's Carissa? I can't see. Carissa has been, just so very important toward doing so many of the things that we have to do for this meeting and for going forward. For instance, the petition that we're getting ready to talk about, getting our PowerPoints together, and so many other things. So, Carissa and Becky, thank you so much for what you've done here today. Thank you for this. And we're going to hear more. We're going to hear more from them. We're going to hear more from them in just a moment. There are some other folks that I want to acknowledge here today, and that are some of our elected leaders. And if you could just stand whenever I call your name. And these people have been friends to you and I for a long time. Senator Jeff Danielson. Senator Bill Dobsler. By the way, these are graduates from you and I. Anytime you meet Bill, he says, look, I'm a graduate of you and I got my degree in biology. And he's proud of it to this day, as well he should be. And State Representative Bob Crescent. And there are some other folks here who are good friends of United Faculty and everything that we stand for. And one, somebody who I'm so proud to call my friend, and he's just one of the best progressives in this area and in this state. And I think he represents the future of Iowa politics. That's Christopher Schwartz, Blackhawk County Supervisor. I know I'm going to be forgetting somebody, but I hope I don't. I also want to mention, and we're going to hear from him also later, my good friend who's been such an important part of what we've been trying to do the past few weeks to mobilize, not only here on this campus, but throughout the state, to stop these attacks on our collective bargaining rights, is Jesse Case. And Jesse's the president. Where are you, Jesse? Jesse Case with the Teamsters. Right here. Jesse's the president of the largest local union in Iowa. He represents a lot of public employees around this state. County road crews, police officers, folks all over this state. And I want to tell you, for my money, Jesse has been I don't know where we would be right now in terms of trying to organize a coherent opposition to these proposed changes without Jesse. So thank you so much, Jesse, for all of your help. Who am I forgetting? Please help me. Maybe. Who? Oh, Susie, I didn't even see you. So Susie Baker from Ashby, step up. Susie, where are you? How could I forget? As a former Ashby employee, a unit manager, I should be ashamed of myself, but I couldn't see you out there, Susie. The last time I saw you, I thought you had purple hair. You did. Well, looks like I might be getting ready to have some myself here if things go right. All right. So I just want to say before we introduce our special guest here today that this is the crucial moment in the history of our university. You know, we all thought back in 2012 that, you know, we took a severe wound. We really did. And it took us a long time just to start to get where we could get over the pain inflicted by that wound. And not only to our enrollment numbers, but to our sense of culture, our sense of community, you know, our pride and our affection for this university. You know, we lost a president, a provost, we hired another one, then, you know, we lost that president. And now here we are again, just like every other year, facing more unnecessary, terribly destructive budget cuts, but now a threat to something that we've had here for 40 years, collective bargaining rights for faculty, that allow us to, you know, ensure fairness in our wages and our benefits, our conditions of work, but more important than that, to help secure this sense of community that causes us every day to be motivated and proud of going into the classroom to deliver excellence to our students, of spending those extra hours and all that extra effort in important scholarly and artistic projects. And that happens in large part because we know that we have one another's back through our collective bargaining. We know that. And we know that we are not subject to the arbitrary whims of a management that might be here today and gone tomorrow, right? And so it's so sad that here we are again facing yet another attack. And one has to wonder, you know, how many more of these can we stand at a university like this? You know, Julie's going to talk in just a moment about how this happens around the country. And so what I want to say before I introduce Julie is this. There is so much at stake here that none of us can afford to be idle. None of us can afford to not take action. We have to take action. That's what this is about. This isn't about just united faculty. We have to take action to protect this university. That's what these elected officials are going to do. But guess what? This is something else that President Obama said, and this is absolutely true. Elected officials, even those who are your friends, you have to persuade and sometimes force them to do what's the right thing because they're getting it from a lot of different angles. So by the time this meeting is open, I hope everyone leaves this room understanding not only your commitment to fighting on behalf of this university, but also your neighbor's commitment, your colleagues' commitment down the hall, your fellow students' commitment. Because if we don't, these forces that seek the degradation of public higher education, public education in general, but especially, you know, where we are, they're not going to be stopped. This is it. It's us. All right? So please remember that. That's what we're all about today. So it's my pleasure then with that to introduce somebody who's been fighting this fight for a long time, longer than just her 3.5 years as executive director of the American Association of University Professors. Julie Schmidt has been on the front lines in Wisconsin and in other parts of the country, and every day as executive director, standing up for public higher education, for academic freedom, for tenure, for excellence in public higher education. Now, believe it or not, I mean, sometimes you think someone with that background who does that, you know, maybe she's background in political science or social work or community organizing or something, but no. She has her doctorate degree from the University of Iowa down the road in English, with a specialization in, and tell me, Julie, if I'm getting this right, okay? But with a specialization in contemporary American literature, is that right? Right. And her dissertation is on poetry slams.
Yes.
Is that right? Poetry slams. And I don't know much about that, but once I learned that she could do that, I thought, well, maybe you could slam out this speech, right? But I don't think she's going to do that. And by the way, I should mention, she's sitting next to her former classmate, her good friend, and my good friend, and the good friend of everyone in Iowa Labor, Jennifer Scherer, who's the head of the Iowa Labor Center. Jennifer, stand up just a second. Let us say hello to you. I just want to say Jennifer has been absolutely on the inside helping to organize this effort on behalf of organized labor. So, Julie, we are so happy to have you here. She did not hesitate for a second to say, hey, I want to come to Iowa because what's happening here is important to the entire nation. And her hands are full. She's got so many things going on, but she didn't hesitate to say, yeah, I'm in this with you. And so I'd like to all of us welcome to the podium Julie Schmidt. Thank you.